Happy Tuesday, ladies. This is a special, special day because yesterday we had Tamara on and she was on our podcast. But today we have another special lady, Maria Manetas. I hope I don't botch your name, but that's
perfect.
I'll open anything. So I wanted to give you ladies just somebody really fun, extra special today. This was unannounced. This is a special bonus for you guys. So for you ladies that are in the free membership, this is what happens over in the membership where we have experts come on. So I encourage you, after you have seen this week full of amazing ladies, that you'll be like, for $1 a day, that's amazing. So Maria is on Instagram a lot. I have to tell you, Maria, I am not an Instagram girl. I have it. I post occasionally, but I am not like the Instagram girl. Like Facebook is my jam. But Maria is all on Instagram with motivation, positivity. And I'll just let you take it away, Maria, and tell them about your podcast, because I got a lot of podcast listeners too that would love to hear your podcast. But I would love for you to just tell them a little bit about you.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Alice, so much for having me. Hello, everyone. My name, as she said, is Maria Manetas. I am a 50-something lady living just outside San Francisco, California. I'm married. I have 3 boys and 1 beautiful daughter-in-law. I have been in sales for a long time. I've transitioned from being a stay-at-home mom after that little segment of my life into doing some social media coaching for friends and some small businesses that need it. And then in this whole time of quarantine, I decided, well, what am I going to be doing? I can't stay home and bake bread all day, which has contributed to a 10-pound weight gain after a very successful weight loss, but that's another story. So I decided to start a podcast called Fabulous Broads, Midlife Stories. So I interview and talk about things that are of interest to women over 50. Sometimes I go solo and just go on and rant about my children and why they bring down petrified dishes to my kitchen in the middle of the night. And I have no idea. I go home, I go to bed with a clean kitchen, and then I come down and it's like, what the heck happened overnight?
It's a mystery.
Right. And so, you'll get a little bit of everything of my life, from some fun interviews like this to, maybe a rant about something or other, whatever comes to me in the middle of the night.
I love it. So ladies, I have asked Maria to come on because I have to say, especially in this season, but it doesn't matter what season you are in, laughter is just an amazing health benefit to you on really actually like the diseases it fights in your body. Whenever you can laugh, have a friend to call up and just have a good belly laugh. It is amazing what it does for your spirit, what it does for your soul, what it does for your whole body. So I've asked Maria to come in and just give her self-care tips that she uses, because she's all about having fun. And honestly, ladies, in this season, we should be all about fun.
It's really important, Alice. You're so right. I mean, as just a small little example, we had a couple of friends who were sort of in our little pod. I mean, we know they don't go anywhere. We don't go anywhere. They came by the other night and we watched 2 episodes of a stand-up comedian on TV. And we just laughed for 2 hours straight. They were on one whole side of the family room. We were on one whole side, like never closer to my husband before than I did that day. And then they were snuggled together on the other side. And we just honestly laughed. And I felt so much better. I slept better. It was a wonderful evening.
Yes.
I firmly believe in laughter. I am sort of a little snarky, a little, I like to find the humor in things, because otherwise you'll sit in a corner and cry sometimes with things that are happening in things.
Right. So did you feel like so good after they left? Was your spirit just so lifted?
It was lifted because I have known these people. We go to church together. You know, we're very, very close. We travel together, and I missed seeing them, and just the feeling of having somebody that I can just sit and talk to, and we laugh together, and there were things that we could relate to because they were talking about children and just all these things, and it was such a good night. I can't remember sleeping better in the last few weeks than I did, you know, on Sunday night.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Prepared with a list of 10 things, 10 things you can do or should do or might want to try and do. I mean, maybe you don't want to go so far as to start a podcast while you're quarantined, but I highly recommend turning off the news if you can.
Right?
I highly recommend it. My oldest is a police officer, and I don't like to watch the news when I'm home. So I just keep the TV off because it's anxiety producing for me. So it's important for me to just kind of have that element at least. I do try to keep alerts on and just in case something happens, but it's more peaceful that way.
Yes.
I do like to spend time with my husband. I mean, some people may not, but mine does actually go to work. So,
but you know what? We have a lot of empty nesters here, Maria, and I think, you know, some of that is lost. So when we have our kids in the house, you know, they're bringing in friends. You have the extracurricular activities before COVID, of course. Exactly. But it's like your house is always filled with somebody, someone, and I feel like, you know, after that season ends, sometimes you're like having dinner and you're looking at your spouse like, wow, okay, now what do we do?
Exactly, right? I mean, I have 3 boys. My front hall was filled with shoes. I would come home from grocery shopping and there would just be like 7 pairs of shoes there and be like, hey boys, oh, hi, Mrs. Manetas. Like, I have food because I'm Greek. All I do is cook for people. And so it would be like a feast. And this was the house where all the kids hung out. And now with this, my youngest is 19. He works, he goes to school. It's quiet.
Yeah.
You know, it's quiet. Right. So I have spending more time with my husband. Luckily, I actually do like the man, which is good because he's a divorce lawyer, so you don't tend to want to piss him off. You want to be good.
Oh my gosh.
He's got to just play it cool, but he does actually go to the office, which is nice. I mean, I'm not sure that I would have loved him being home 100% of the time.
Right.
But we get along. And we've been repainting the house and doing some new things. So it's, you know, it's been fun.
I love that.
Yeah. And we don't really go out much. So we're home a lot. I mean, I do the grocery shopping. So.
Right. Well, there's not many places to go now. Like, you know, I just threw it out there for anybody to tell me, like, where can I go for my birthday? Like, I just want to go somewhere next month. Like, where can I go? Somewhere to visit. And everybody's like, nowhere.
Well, you know, the hard thing is my husband has asthma pretty bad. And so a couple weekends ago, we did scope out a place. We went sort of like at 2:30 in the afternoon, kind of after the lunch rush before dinner. They had an outdoor patio. We walked by a couple times, did a little reconnaissance to see, like, did the servers have masks on, and everything looked good. And we went and had our first meal out since March 16th. So you can do it, I guess. I was very nervous the whole time that somebody would come by and sneeze or do something. So I'm not going to do it again.
Right. Okay, so what tip are you on next?
I'm in tip 3, which is learn something or start something new. Like, I learned how to do a podcast. I learned how to do audio editing. I learned how to do all of the things relating to it and finding my audience. But I also learned how to make bread. And so that, which has sadly contributed to the weight gain, but it's delicious. I make 2 or 3 times a week, and now I'm experimenting with different types. I'm on YouTube looking at videos on how to do it. I've discovered an odd fascination also with YouTube. You can find out just about anything on YouTube.
Anything.
Like you
Yeah.
can learn how to do anything. So
Yeah.
I started to try some yoga classes to see if that was something I might be interested in. And I've discovered an odd fascination with like little RV vehicles, thinking we should buy one of those, even though the price is like the size of a small house, to just drive around the country, not have to stay in hotels. And so they have
Right.
tours of these RVs, which maybe that's not the best thing to watch before you go to bed, but I'm learning all sorts of new things about camping and doing things like that. So learn something new if you can.
Absolutely. Yes. And also, when you are learning something new, it really triggers endorphins in you. And that really affects your brain. It keeps that brain activity going. So, it's like I've always told my kids, it's like when you walk across that stage and you get that diploma, don't stop learning there. That's not where the learning stops. It starts. So it just keeps that brain going. It fills you with your endorphins, which makes you happy. And that's why I wore my shirt for you. Choose happy. So I love that. Learn something new. Fantastic. Okay, so tip 4.
Tip 4 is declutter. And that's a weird tip. It's a weird tip, but we redid our bedroom, and by redoing, I mean my husband repainted it, which was like, it was kind of a mustardy yellow color that was super popular about 20 years ago. And we did a nice light gray, and I got a new light comforter, and I thought, okay, I'm going to empty out drawers. I'm going to move out my clothes. I'm going to clean out this. And now when I walk into my bedroom, it's not a storage room. It is a very welcoming, relaxing space. And all it took was for me to just get rid of the clutter and a single gallon of paint, and I feel so much better. And that could also be contributing to my sleeping better, because I don't wake up and go, oh my God, I forgot to put that away, or oh, look at all this stuff on my nightstand, or I knocked over this because I was reaching for the alarm. It really makes such a difference when you can open your drawers, just reach for the right utensil in your kitchen. It adds to your peace of mind. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scientific research, that I guess that's why Marie Kondo has done so great with, get rid of anything that doesn't bring joy to your life. But if you think about clutter and the chaos it creates around you, and just like your mind gets cluttered, you can't think of it. So your home should be like really your sanctuary. The less stuff that you have there, guys, and really in this season of life, we're all about simplicity too. The less is best. You don't need all that stuff. And that's what I found that also, Maria, during this time, like of quarantine, like I just started going through the closets and throwing out. I must have taken like 5 trips to the Goodwill here and just toss, like, we don't need this, like, simple is best.
Well, you realize what you don't need. I mean, I used to go, oh, you know what? I'll just take a trip to Home Goods, because I'm bored at home, and I'll just go to Home Goods and I'll bring back 2 big bags of things that I really don't need, that add clutter, and I have nowhere to put them. So that's ended clearly, not by, by design, but very important. And then my next tip is I keep a little gratitude journal by my nightstand, and I try to write at least 3 things that I'm very grateful for the day. A lot of times it goes a lot longer than 3 things, or it'll turn into a paragraph, or it'll turn into a little reflection of the day versus just a little list. But sometimes when I'm really, really tired and I think, oh, I'll just jot down 3 things, that also helps me be peaceful. Sometimes if it's something like, I don't feel like writing anything now, I can't think of anything, maybe I'm having a down day. We have a really sweet young man who is a pastoral assistant at our church, and he records his sermons. And so I may pick one of those to listen to before I go to bed, because they're on YouTube. And that also sort of gives me a little bit of reflection time in a different way than just writing things down.
Absolutely. I love that tip.
Yeah.
So good.
Now, my next tip is, and I don't always do this, so I'm putting this tip as an accountability tip, but walk or move every day. I feel so much better. I tell my husband sometimes, just go for a walk. Just go for a walk, you'll feel better. So I made myself a little Spotify list of fun songs that are fast and peppy, and I've timed it to be 30 minutes or so. And I started as soon as I walk out my front door, and I have my mask on and I have my hat on, and I feel like I'm just completely encased, but I just go for a walk. And it makes me feel so much better. One day I actually hit replay on the playlist and I walked for a whole hour, and that's unheard of because I don't like to sweat. So it was perfect. I couldn't believe it. But it felt so good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So you ladies that work from home, or maybe you even have like your grandkids this summer or something, sometimes we get stuck like sitting in a chair, or sometimes we get caught up in sometimes I have negative thoughts or limiting self-beliefs. The best thing you can do is to take a walk. Just like Maria said, it helps those creative juices flow. And you know, the best thing about going out for a walk, you can plug in Maria's podcast and my podcast, and you can feel so great when you come back.
Right? I mean, there's also, if you go on Spotify, a Fabulous Broads playlist, and I've got all the fun. I mean, if you're in your 50s, I'm going to say you're going to love the songs, you know, but I listen to that too. I really try hard. Motivation, another podcast, something to just keep me busy and going. And that brings me to tip number 6. You've got to get enough sleep, which means you can't stay up until 1 a.m. watching all these different videos and scrolling the internet. I mean, even if you're reading a really good book, it'll still be there for you tomorrow. Get enough sleep, try and get 8 hours, and get up in the morning and get dressed, because that'll set the tone for your day. You won't be, well, I'm not going anywhere, so I could stay in, you know, my pajamas if I really wanted to and sit on the couch. But if you get yourself dressed and you put on your shoes and you maybe put on a little bit of makeup, I can't put lipstick on now because we wear masks, but you know, it makes you feel better. Just you're mentally prepared and your day has begun and you're ready to go, you know?
Yes. I talk about sleep so much in here, just like if you think when you were raising your kids, your babies, and you were up all night, how you felt like the next day. You know, you're in a fog, you're grumpy, you make poor eating choices, and you just don't feel good. So that, again, is so critical. I love that you brought that up, because it's not just what we're saying, but there's been so much Harvard research studies on sleep and scientific proven, you know, just things that says if you don't get between 7 and 8 hours of really quality sleep, you don't really function well the next day. Even though I constantly hear people say, I only need 5 or 6. Well, I'm sorry, but your brain needs time to reset.
You do. You need time to process everything. We're just bombarded every day with so many things. And, you know, I keep my coffee with me, but there's only so much that's going to help you if you haven't had a good night's sleep, you know? But that leads me into number 7, eat good food. Now's your chance. You're making a choice about what you're bringing into the house. Maybe you can't go out and eat out as often as you can, but you can control what you're cooking and making at home. You can avoid the processed foods. You can, you know, practice with your crock pot maybe, or try a new recipe. There's so many options out there. Again, you know, I'm on Pinterest a lot. I found a couple people that I really love on YouTube. I watch their videos. I think, oh, okay, I can make that. Those are easily available ingredients, but fresh vegetables, some fresh fruit. There's nothing wrong with having a little ice cream treat or something like that. But, you know, if you can just eat really good food, that's going to make you feel better as well.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
And, okay, are you ready? I've got another one now. I have, I have my mom who's 85 and she lives in San Francisco. I live about 25 minutes out. So I'm really careful with her. The only thing she does is walk around the block with a mask, and she stays home. So I go up there 2 to 3 times a week. We visit. Sometimes we eat lunch together. I wear a mask when I sit a little farther apart from her, but we talk. I talk to her on the phone a few times a day. And I've also been checking in on other people. My husband has an older cousin who lives with her husband. They're alone. I call her once a week. I check in, I make her laugh. We tell stories. We catch up on the family events. But if you can reach out to somebody who isn't maybe as social, maybe a little introverted, maybe they don't get out as much, or they have some health issues, a phone call goes a long way into making people feel connected. Yeah. And I think it's important to reach out now more than ever.
Yes, yeah, because when people say they, they don't know how to get out of a funk, or they just aren't happy or anything, the best thing you can do is go serve somebody else. And who can you call today to lend a kind word or just a smile walking down the street? But who can you call today? That phone is so underserved in this day and time. Like, pick up the phone and call somebody that you haven't spoke to in a while and just say, hey, I'm thinking of you. Is there anything that I can do for you? And see how that actually changes the way that you feel.
I agree. It makes me feel much better when I get off the phone. And then I discovered that she actually does have a cell phone, so I can text her some pictures of the boys, but it's a nice connection, especially with the elderly. There's just, it's a hard time, they can't.
It is such a hard time. Yes, I can so relate, because my mom's 85 as well. My dad's 86, and yeah, this has been a hard time.
Yeah, it is. And okay, I'm on tip number 9. I'm getting to 10 there. So I was watching TV, which I don't watch a lot of TV. Sometimes my husband and I watch, and this Calm app came on. It was a commercial, and it said, stop what you're doing. And I said, oh, what? Look, the TV is now telling me what to do. So I followed it, and it said, close your eyes and just breathe. And I went, okay. And then I thought, well, what is that app? So of course, it's an app. I've got to check it out. It's a meditation app. And I thought, well, I could do that. I can do that. I mean, I'm home alone most of the days. My son's not going to laugh at me. He's up in his room playing Fortnite. Like, he's not going to come and see why mom is just sitting there quietly with her eyes closed. And it's nice. It's nice. It makes you feel peaceful. And I don't know. We're bombarded by so much. There's always a text coming in, or a phone call, or a bing in your phone, or the doorbell's ringing, or a telemarketer is calling, or somebody needs you. And having at least like maybe 5 minutes of just sitting there with your eyes closed and just breathing in and out, remembering those Lamaze breathing classes that you took. I mean, that is really helpful to me.
Yes. It recenters you and grounds you and just brings you back to yourself. Yes. I find myself doing that a couple times a day.
Oh, you're putting up on me. I only do it once a day, but I'm going to have to do.
Yes. Yeah. So our final tip, I can't wait.
Our final tip is a get out of jail free card. It is give yourself grace. If you can't do 1 through 9 every single day, it's okay. Because tomorrow's a new day. You can just make a choice to do one of those things. And even if it's just sitting down and meditating, or even, putting a meal on the table and sitting and just thinking about your day, give yourself grace. Not every day has to be filled with every positive, good thing. There's down days, and there's up days, and there's challenging days, but just give yourself grace. Everything will be better, and tomorrow's a new day, and you can just move on then and try again. It's a clean slate, right?
I love that. What an amazing way to end that, Maria. I absolutely love that, because as women, we do not do that enough. We do not give ourselves enough grace, and we are just so hard on ourselves. And that is so, so important, to give yourself grace, ladies. If the day is not going the way that you thought it was going to go, it's okay. And just like Maria said, today is a new day. And, you know, the past is the past, but to live in the present. We can't focus on the future because we can't control what the future holds, but to just live in the present because that is all each of us has. And I just love you coming on, Maria. If you can just tell them where to find you again. I know you're on Instagram, but where are you on Instagram?
So thank you so much for inviting me, Alice. This was fun, very fun. And it made me think again about what I need to be doing today. You can find me on Instagram at Fabulous Broads, just one word, or maria.manetas if you want to find me there too. I've got 2 Instagram accounts. I am on Spotify. I'm on the Apple podcasts under Fabulous Broads. And if you go to fabulousbroads.com and you sign up for my weekly newsletter, you can get instant link to my fun Spotify playlist with, I think, about 4.5, maybe 5 hours of some super fun music that I think anyone will love.
I love that so much. Like, you know, if I'm ever in a funk, like I love to have somebody's Spotify music. Like I can just bebop to. It's like changes your whole attitude, right?
I love it. I think you'll love this one. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking part of your day, Maria, so we could pop in here for these ladies. Hopefully we would love for you to drop a tip in here, something that maybe you learned today so that we can see something made a difference in your life today. And what are you going to actually take away from Maria's top 10 tips that are going to help you just to enhance your life and make your day even better? But I just love you so much, Maria. Thank you for enhancing so many of us fabulous broads after 50.
I've enjoyed speaking with you today. It was fun.
It was so fun. All right, ladies, have a great day. We'll catch you sometime in the future. Bye, guys.
Everyone.